Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Welcome to day 7 of the Mountain Culture Advent Box. Surprise, surprise, we have another hazy beer. So it's a New England IPA at 7.5% called Core Memory. Pretty rad can artwork. I've got my headwear, change of hats, and my little elegant Mountain Culture glass. So let's get it. The quality of these New Englands has been phenomenal, but yeah, I'm just getting sick of having them. It's like I want to change. Come on. Pretty sexy little glass, this one. Cheers again, Joey. Good to see you, brother. Yeah, we need to make that idea happen, I think. That'd be so rad. So pours like a bright, I'd probably say a light orange. In my camera, it looks a little shit, but yeah, it's got that sort of slightly cloudiness and not full on haze. About a 1 to 2 finger head. I would say medium body. Looks quite soft and pillowy. Carbonation's, yeah, pretty mild. Let's have a whiff. Cheers again, Daniel. I feel today's going to be a big day. The forecast for today, many ales. So I'm getting like lemon and lime, some grapefruit, some passion fruit, that usual like white bready backbone. It's going to be a creamy boy, this one. Slightly grassy. Cheers again, Mustang. And I'm not getting any stone fruit. She's more tropical citrus, this one, which is a good thing. It's like fairly sweet, but not too intense. Anyway, I'm a thirsty boy. Let's get in there. Cheers. Oh, I don't know if I mentioned the ABV, but 7.5%. It's quite earthy, this one. Yeah, you're getting sort of like earth and maybe like a touch of berry. It tastes like it's got mosaic in it, but I don't think it has. What are the hops? Citra, Centennial, and Motueka. I definitely got that lime from Motueka. Yeah. At least I'm not sneezing today. It's quite the delicate little number, this one. Very smooth and creamy. Very crushable at 7 What is it? 7.5. It drinks like a 6. I feel like this would be the sort of beer like, yeah, if you said, here you go, guys, try some mountain culture, this would be a good example of something to give to a first timer. Yeah, as I said, the standard of these beers has been really good, but I'm just a little hazed out at the moment. Hmm. Yeah, not much bitterness on this one. Hmm. Can't wait to just like kick back outside later on, hang with the dogs, just throw shit. They can go retrieve it, and I'll just be standing in the sun. I've got like a really big backyard, so it's real nice when it's good weather. I need to get myself some ice, fill up the esky. Ooh. And an esky is a cooler, I think what you call in. There's so many different names for like a. So yeah, it's like the box that you put the ice in with the drinks. We call them an esky. Esky's like a brand. In New Zealand, they call them a chili bin. Pretty sure most countries they're called coolers. But yeah, it's funny with stuff like that, how like it has different terminology. And you'll say it, and then people are like, "What the hell are you talking about?" See, like we call flip flops thongs. If you went up to an American and said something about a thong, they'd think you're talking about a G string. Cooler, yeah. Speaking of coolers and ice, what's everyone's obsession with ice baths lately? You see so much of it on like YouTube and Instagram and that everyone's having ice baths. Be sort of like I'd love to try it, like just to see how bad it is. Because you see some people get in them and they're like straight out, like can't handle it at all. I've grown up going to the beach during winter in like freezing conditions in the south, like of Australia. I feel like I could handle cold water pretty well. But yeah, sort of a different story when you're jumping into a bath like that. This is nice. I'm getting a touch of pine as well. They're going down very easily today, boys. Yeah. It's always funny, like with the whole northern southern hemisphere difference, because like a lot of my beer friends are from, yeah, either like US, Canada, or like the UK. We'll be talking about like weather and that, and they keep forgetting that I'm down in Australia, and it's like the opposite to them. I mean, there's some of them that'll know straight away, but there's others that sort of forget. I remember I was on a stream once and I had a hoodie on and a beanie and was real cold, and it must have been the heat of summer in the US. And they're like, well, "Why the fuck are you wearing all that shit? Aren't you hot?" It's like it's fucking minus whatever here. No, can't say I do. Is that a thing, is it? Is that some sort of fetish? I remember watching a show once about people's fetishes and like how they get off and like real weird things that send people like crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? Some of it's insane. Like there's a lot of people that like have like latex fetishes and all that sort of shit, but there's definitely some real weird ones out there. The Army Navy game, that'd be pretty intense, wouldn't it? Awesome rivalry. See, I'd love to watch college football, but in Australia, just there's no interest in it. NFL to me in Australia, it's always had a bit of interest, but just not enough to like showcase it heaps because of our local stuff here. Just is in your face and real popular. I have found though that NFL's getting a little more legs to it. Like one thing that drives me nuts is I feel like so many kids growing up now, they're just too obsessed with gaming, and a lot of them aren't even into sport. It's like, come on. I want to talk about sport and music and drinking. I don't want to talk about video games. My good friend Alex, the beer master, would love this beer. Smooth and creamy, juicy. Cheers, Lee. Good to see you, mate. Should have seen the beer I had before. It was smoky and sour. Very, very weird, but good. Yeah. That's what one thing I really enjoy is like, yeah, obviously when you see a young kid that's real passionate about sport and does really well throughout their teenage years and then goes on to, yeah, make a career out of it. But also the same with kids these days getting into playing instruments. If I see a young kid like absolutely belting the drums, like it excites me the fact that there's still a passion out there for like rock and roll, and not every kid's listening to these shit like radio fucking electronic remixes and covers. Oh, just the music you hear some of the like the teenage lads and the even the early 20s and that it makes me sick. But yeah, that's when you know you're getting old, when the generations below you are annoying you with certain things. I just feel like when I was younger, most people sort of just come up with their own interests and didn't follow the crowd as much. I just feel like a lot of them these days are sheep. Just follow the leader. Let's just all do the same thing. And anyway, 28 Navy Army. Oh yeah. Is it normally a like is it the sort of game where one team always seems to dominate, or is it sort of to and fro? It's good when you get a good strong rivalry and it's like you never know who's going to win, sort of thing. Whereas sometimes there'll be these big rivalries, but like the same team wins it. Like 8 times in a row. Yeah, exactly. Like that, the best time of my life is like even though most of the time you hate being at school and you can't wait to grow up and be an adult and do your own thing, but you think back now, like when you're at school, all you do is go to school, hanging out with your friends. It's shit being in classes and stuff. But as soon as you finish school, I was always playing football, playing cricket, like tennis, basketball, at the beach. Like, yeah, it's like the time of your life. It's fucking awesome. I really miss that. Like, I'm even like, even though I'm in my early 40s, if I lived with like mates now, I'd be like, come on, let's go out for a kick of the footy. Because when you live by yourself, it's like, I'm not going to go out there and just kick it by myself. I still have the occasional shot of basketball. Yeah, just when you're fucking around playing sports and that in your own time, there's nothing better. Another one done and dusted. Oh yeah, that's a good ratio. So yeah, it's pretty even. Obviously, Navy's won a few more times, but that's a good statistic. That's what you want. Good, strong rivalry that goes for years, and yeah, it's like, I mean, there's going to be sort of, yeah, like what do you call it? Like an era where a team's going to be more dominant than the other and maybe win more in a row. But hmm, is there like an Air Force team? See, when I have watched college football, even just highlights, like I've really enjoyed it. Looks real like free flowing, and because the kids are still at that sort of awkward size as well, it makes it sort of entertaining. Yeah, well, just listening to buddy, I think it was like KC and a few of the others talking about it yesterday, like how Oregon are going really well, and they're all sort of they're like a smaller team, but they're like sprightly, they're like real quick, and they've had a heap of sacks. They're not as big and strong as other teams because they're so quick and like elusive. They're doing really well. Yep, cool. Yeah, I know there's all these like different divisions and shitloads of teams and that. But it's something, yeah, I'd love to get into, even if like there might be a way I can sort of watch more games, or maybe there's is there like a wrap up show? Is there something like on YouTube that like a weekly highlights thing on YouTube or something that might be able to make me get into it more? Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up and maybe go join a panel or something. Not sure what's going on, but yeah, I love that can artwork. So cool. So yeah, core memory, New England IPA by Mountain Culture, obviously who this box is by. I'm going to say this one is. I'm going to go a 4.4 out of 5. It's pretty good, this one. It had that usual, like, smooth and creamy mouthfeel, like a big bready base, like tropical citrus notes, slightly piney and grassy. No bitterness. It was like, as far as sweetness goes, it was probably like moderate level. Yeah, good stuff. And as I said, I think tomorrow's isn't a hazy, so I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, thanks for chiming in, peeps, and whoever watches it back afterwards. Cheers. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going on next, but I'm sure we'll see people around. Thanks, guys.